All right, Matt Davio, it's been a while, Greg, since you and I have talked. The ES market has gone to sleep. We're sitting here at highs. We've got Carl with us today. Carl and I were talking a little bit earlier the last couple days about commodities and how they were, they rang the bell with the Osama bin Laden. But it's also, Greg, a year since the flash crash in equities.
Not quite.
And we're seeing a flash crash in commodities today. Metals. The bell was rung with OBL being tracked down Sunday night. And I thought it'd be a good time just to catch up for the folks. You've been in transit, moving to a different location on Hawaii. So how have you been?
No, all's well in the world. Welcome back to the bourgeoisie, huh? I'm out of the jungle, so things are good. My burn rate's back up to about half of the old days, but I sold some gold up at 1,500, so at least I have some money to pay all these bills. And it's never fair to ask me about the metals because I own the stuff for free so many times over that I can peel off 100 ounces at a time and live like a rock star again and not think much about it.
Were you selling it to the Mexicans on their 100-ton purchase last week?
Oh, they got no stinking badges, no. Yeah, no, I was meeting people and handing it over and taking the cash and then taking the cash and peeling it off to other people. No. I did legitimate transfers of money, like the old days. No money grid. No electronic shit. I was short some futures against the position up till yesterday, so you guys are throwing this party over there, short all these silver and everything, and I'm the donkey that just sold some physical, and I was short the future. I couldn't hold on. I covered yesterday morning, and I keep getting up at 3 o'clock and running over here and doing a trade and going back to bed till 8 and coming back. It's like it's like fucking putting your money on a roulette thing and going back to bed and I can see where the ball landed.
Well, but seriously, Carl, you weren't part of our conversation earlier, but we were talking a little bit about how this really feels eerily coordinated again. Everything's selling off on the commodity side hard, and considering how hard everything ran together and correlation was 1, and now the ES is just hanging here. It's not doing anything today. And yet,
everything got coupled. Bonds got coupled. Stocks got coupled. Commodities got coupled. There's never a time where everybody gets invited to the same party. Right. I didn't go to high school, but I heard there was clips, these jocks didn't hang with these nerds. I just cracked the fuck up. I can't believe that they just let everybody make money. I mean, that was Bernanke's, idea, I guess. I mean, Matt, to catch you back up, Carl, you probably don't watch. I can't think of anything. If anybody's watching this, I can't think of anything I'd rather not do than watch our videos, me and Matt. But we made some good market calls. There was a period of time before the market really started to melt up where we were catching these 50 handle moves and 100 handle moves, and we were getting on the right side of it. And the two of us were actually, our work was lining up. So, I was thinking, geez, we should be on TV or something. And we were just clipping them. And then all of a sudden it just started that slow grind, ball death spiral up, just boring. And we were talking, we were both buying some leaps on, these SDSs and stuff. And finally I just, I hope anybody that bought those didn't, want to look for me or anything. But, I gave up finite risk. I lost a little bit of money, it didn't work out. I mean, these leverage ETFs are worse than I thought. But I'm sure the people in these metal ETFs are going to find out someday, like when GLD just halts trading and they go, we're just kidding. There's no gold.
There is no gold.
It's going to happen, you guys. We're going to be sitting here. There's some smart guy out there somewhere, long physical gold, short GLD, just going like this. Just waiting his time because there's going to be a day where you wake up and you see trading halt. You'll see NBC things going to pop up on your phone. GLD announces they've got, less gold than I have in my fucking teeth.
Yeah.
Do people really still watch CNBC?
I heard about it. No, I got it on my phone. I got it on my iPhone. There's it's a free app. Come on, man. It's a free app. Wow, had Carl on the program taking shots at Greg.
Oh, I think it's the best comedy show around. So
hey, Carl, you can buy me some more lures. It's 98.40.
Right here. This never Projet.
I live in Fish Central, man. I go buy ahi for like $1 a pound. I'm just afraid we're pretty close to China.
So you have all that good fresh bait out there, yeah?
We got good stuff, yeah. It's I've been doing almost all trading guppies still, just doing the yield curve arbitrage during this. And that's the greatest inefficiency out there. I mean, I gave back when Carl, when Matt and I were talking originally, I told people, buy 5, short 10. This is free money essentially, because the yield curve was going to steepen out again, and it steepened. And then I said, short 10, buy 30. Because the yield curve is going to flatten, and that trade just started seesawing. Like you could trade it 10 times, well not 10, you could try to trade it 4 or 5 times a week and be making just huge money. So that whole SDS stuff, I was just like, whatever, I'll just trade bonds and relax with my thoughts. If I get stuck, I'll just do more. I mean, I got so much leverage. And now, I'll tell you what, the big play here, and because it ties into this commodity conversation, is eventually it looks like they are trying to
we were just
do something. They are doing things. It looks like they are trying to calm down inflation, and with knocking the wheels off the commodities, so people take your eye off the ball like magic,
Yeah.
And the real play here is short the 2-year. And I saw Michael Steinhardt interview where he was shorting the 2-year, and he's the real deal. I mean, Warren Buffett, Bill Gross, all these guys can't shine Michael Steinhardt's shoes. I mean, Michael Steinhardt was the real deal. He still is, actually. Yeah. And he comes out, and the only thing he's been doing is shorting the 2-year, knowing that if you printed all this money, someday inflation will come. I mean, and so I can extrapolate the 2-year to 0. It trades in 200,000 face. I want to remind everybody, it's not 100,000 units. They're $200,000 units. So each point's $2,000. But the margin's ridiculous. Margin's like $1,100 or $1,000 or something. At a trade station anyway. And my attitude is short it till you're right. If rates go to 0, you're only going to lose another $4,000 a contract. Who cares? $3,000 a contract? Okay, you have a floor. I don't think Japan and India and China is going to come to us and say, let us park our money in 2-year treasuries at a discount to an interest rate. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I guess it could, but it's not going to be a big discount. I mean, what are you going to pay? Let's say it goes to a 0.5 basis point inverted. You have to pay a 0.5 basis point to park your money here for 2 years. I don't see it, but if that were to happen, I mean, at least you can get your arms around it. So, if you want to do it the pussy way like me, you can hedge and buy a few 5-years with it. And then that offsets the, because you can get finite risk on the 2-year. I got the calculator. I'll send it to you guys. Yeah. I mean, that is my absolute call. I want to go back to this day someday and rub it in everybody's face and say, I told you so.
And again, you're not saying, just as we said before, this is kind of a month in, month out, roll it forward. It's not a trade.
It's quarterly, actually.
Yeah.
The beauty is it's quarterly, so the roll doesn't cost you anything. There's no slippage. It's, a tick. You just got all like a monster. I had a flashback with the video. I wonder if that's going to come through when you post this, Matt. Your whole screen just went all crazy. I was just having like an acid flashback for your screen went crazy. I'm hoping it's the latter. But
I mean, I tend to agree with you, and I tend to agree. When Steinhardt, let's talk about this. Greg, you brought this up, and Carl and I were talking. It's funny that you just said they with quotations, because Carl and I were talking about they earlier, and I don't know who they are. You don't know who they are. Nobody knows who they are, and we're not being conspiratorial.
I know who's in the room. I think that other Paulson guy that is at Goldman's still one of them. I take that back. I'm afraid of him, that gangster guy. He is so cool. That guy was he was like he was the most secret evil genius of our time, isn't he? Watch him in the congressional hearings. I went to a television, Carl, you guys are sports guys, you go watch the Super Bowl and shit. I heard on Congress is gonna get this or what's his name?
Yeah, Hank Paulson.
What's the bad Paulson? Hank Paulson. They were gonna grill him, and I know he did a bunch of evil stuff, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, I can't wait to see this guy get barbecued, because I mean, he's a I hope he doesn't see this. He'll have me killed. I'm afraid of him. And so I go to the television and I go to watch this thing with bated breath. The market's rocking too. The market had ball that day, and there's, it's like a Friday or something. And I get in front of the TV and I'm all ready to see this, car crash, hockey fight type event. And he's just slung back in he's got that gravelly voice. He's leaning forward and listen, I run this shit. Shut up. Fuck you. It was like the main mob guy. No Italian mafia guy, anybody's ever been tougher or anything than this guy. He is the greatest guy ever. And we don't hear a peep about him, do we? He sells out and gets what, a half a bill? What, do you get $500-600 million when he gets sold?
I think for joining the Treasury, he got
pay taxes.
He got $600 million tax-free out of his Goldman days. So he put that into a trust, put in his 2 years, brought everything to its knees, walked away, and as you said, he's still...
Well, no, he saves all his friends. Who knows what kind of backdoor deals he got. But go rewatch that interview, and you'll be blown away. Just go YouTube it, and it's surreal to me how cool this guy was as he screwed, an entire nation. He didn't take down a few people. He didn't run up and rob one of us. I mean, he took us down. I mean, it was like, wow. I just, when something is superlative, you can't take it away from him. He's really good.
So let's talk big picture now. We've had everything correlated to one, as you said, Greg. Everybody, it's as we're breaking the lows here finally on the ES.
Yeah, baby.
And
are we getting hit?
Yeah,
all right. I'm sure I didn't even look.
Yeah, since we hopped on this call, we've basically gone from 1342 to 1330, and we're magic. I don't know what to tell you guys, but it's 1331 here.
This is great.
We got an hour to go. Looks like they're going to absolutely crush everybody now today.
28 quarter, baby.
Oh, I'm loving
28 quarter.
This is ginormous.
I still think we're going to see 1322 today. That was my number.
Wow, this is great. Oh my goodness gracious, look at him go. I'm going to sell some more fives right here. Thank you for the heads. I just peeled some fives off here. Forget that. I'll take. What's the yield on the five? Anyone? I just took some of those back. Jeez, that's great. Thanks.
Yep.
I can screw up an interview one way or another.
But here we are, 34s on silver here. So let's talk a little bit on what you guys think is next in the big picture. Again, they had to take down the commodities here. It was getting a little scary, I think, for the Bernanke. So give us kind of
He did look nervous, didn't he? He did look nervous.
He did look nervous.
He was pretty sweaty. Yeah. He's a sweaty, nervous little guy. He's not looking cool like Hank Paulson. Hank Paulson should have been given Bernanke's job. He just looked right at the thing. Audit, shut up. My questions and policies, pipe down. I have you killed. Anybody wants to be killed, put your hand up. That's what he'd say. Yep. It's like that. Did you guys see that thing? If you had an Italian president, some comedian did. I'll send it to you guys. If you haven't seen it, it's hysterical. How he would handle it. It's handled. Don't worry.
So do you think we're going to see now, an early summer sell-off, and then we can rally for the run for the 2012 election? How do you guys kind of see the big picture of this stuff playing out now?
Flat.
Great. Don't let that Penske booking that team now.
I do. I don't see this charade stopping. So.
No. I agree with.
It can't.
I think that they call it a summer rally for a real reason. It means you get your ass kicked at some time ahead of there. So, maybe we can bounce down and test that, what was it, 1280s or something? 1,200 is the real number. I mean, that would be the healthiest thing is between now and year end.
1181 is what I would watch down there. But
yeah.
I'm just numbers off the top of my head. So
I think it's without looking at a chart. I think when we dip down, I think I have like 20 screens. You think I could get a chart up around here somewhere, right?
I'd be a buyer of that.
Like 1150, I could see something, and there's a kind of a shelf at like 1230 is actually the number that if it went down to 1230, that would make a lot of sense. And then try to make a run into the 1400s. I see some 1406 for some reason as a number above. So I think we've got 1200 to 1400. My big bet here is vol starts to increase. We go into summer, and I think the movement starts to pick up. Maybe, they say the dog days of summer, and last year, September, October, is supposed to be the worst months of the year, and they went straight up.
Right.
I think, you flip everything on its head, and we have a kind of that would be if I were going to try to look forward and predict something, is I think you got a lot more action coming this summer while people are in the Hamptons than normal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think everybody's been just sitting back, waiting, thinking they can collect, their fat paychecks through the summer and enjoy their time out there. But I think they're going to be, paying for the rentals out in the Hamptons and have to run back to their turrets because it's going to get nasty. I agree. Nasty in the volatility. But volatility has just been so squelched here for so long that I think it's going to become, it always works this way. It's going to be a trader's market for at least a quarter and a half here for a while.
Well, it hasn't been a trader's market for the last what's it been now since October?
Yeah, well, that's why it's interesting.
It's been a lot of months of boredom.
I was having this conversation, with folks at dinner, non-market people who were like, yeah, you must be loving, it's always the same cycle. You must be loving these markets, and it's because everything's up, at least the way they see it. And I'm like, I'm bored to tears. There's nothing going on. It's slow. There's
no.
But I said it's going to change. I said it's going to change over the next, 3 to 6 months. And I think this is the first, chink in the armor. And I think, again,
I think the lottery ticket play is that we do get, maybe a whiff of inflation that they can't sweep under the carpet. And, you get a little spike in rates eventually.
Yeah.
And the second thing that's going to be very tradable is going to be sorry, yes, my wife's little dog is bothering me. I must want to go somewhere. The other thing that I think is kind of a laydown is long volatility. Now, if you're smart enough option-wise to get there, I always like to kind of throw out a trade that I can hang my hat on, this STS thing. I got beat for a couple handles. It didn't work. The market went up 100%. Sorry, there was no retracement. Right. I mean, you could have traded out of it or sold stuff against it, but, you didn't lose your home behind the trade. No. The trade that I think makes a lot of sense is this silly VXX thing, is this derivative that's not leverage that is down from 190 to, 23, $4. 25. And they have weekly options.
Yep.
Yeah, they have weekly options. So what you do is you buy that and start selling the front month, half the front week against it. So, I'll throw a trade out that, I bought 90 weeks, I guess, by buying the 2013 leaves, and then start selling half as many of the front week against it. You might own it by the end of summer, walk into September. If you go down and test that 1200, this thing will go to 70 or something, 80. You might make some real money. So, I always like to look for a lottery ticket, because, what I do day by day doesn't help anybody.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
For the people, watching the video.
I just want to have, continue having these discussions. We've seen, again, they do actually ring the bell in markets. And again, there was a lot of bells being rung in January, February, March with copper lagging, falling down. You had a lot of things. You had sugar.
See, I miss all that.
You had sugar rollover.
Never seen it.
You had cotton rollover. You had all these most people aren't looking at these, but everything was correlated, right? You had all the softs running together, wheat, corn, and they stopped in February, March also. So these things have all been lining up for quite some time. And, again, now it's the same thing. It's like now people are going to wake up and you're going to see it on the front page, commodities, slaughter, yada, yada. But it's been it's been in the works for some time. The blow off has been in the works.
Well, maybe they'll take all the asset classes down together like they did in '08 for a while.
Right.
Maybe we'll take them, maybe they'll all drop. So,
Yeah.
They wanted to create inflation. They inflated all asset classes. They want to pull the legs out. Maybe they do it on purpose. They had to wait till everybody got in. They had to wait till the retail buyer couldn't endure it anymore and went and bought silver at 50. And then they got them. It's like the internet. It always goes longer and higher, but they'll get you in the end.
Yep.
And it's the staying power, not getting too big, is the key.
Yep.
It's all that tranching and stuff that people need to learn, but that's not what they do. They shove their
Complacency
chip.
is a commodity.
I like that,
Yeah. Our country's full of complacency.
That's why I like this VIX. I think that this VXX thing it's probably a crooked, evil derivative, but the options on it, those guys are great bookmakers, Whenever you start dealing with options in this market, you're dealing with guys that if they're liquid, these guys are real players. Yeah. They're the best like football line guys going. So, I'm assuming they did some due diligence to make markets in these, Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, if I get beat, I get beat. It's less than I made in oil today. So, on the system. So,
all right. So again, guys, lots going on here. I think we're back to a trader's market. That's the bottom line here. Pick your spots as we're suggesting here. Be careful and enjoy a good summer, guys. Let's do these more regularly.
Thanks for grabbing me on. Good meeting you there, Carl.